Welcome back to NerdMDs StackBytes, where we turn one of our latest Substack posts into a 10-minute power session. This allows our subscribers to listen to a discussion about recent content to further digest our NerdMDs content. We are here for you readers and listeners. The link to the Substack article will be in the show notes. Sit back and relax and enjoy this most recent NerdMDs StackByte.
Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're jumping into a topic that gets a lot of future talk, but we really want to focus on what's happening right now. Artificial intelligence in healthcare. Our mission, really, for this deep dive is to kind of challenge that common perception, and explore how AI isn't just some future promise, but it's actually transforming daily clinical practice, like today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're drawing our insights mostly from Dr. Adam Caru's Substack. It's called AI in Healthcare, Unlocking Clinician Potential. Specifically, one article, Frontlines plus Frontier, Why I'm All In on AI for Healthcare.
And what's really compelling, I think, is that Dr. Caru, he's a clinician himself, right? So he cuts through all the hype, gets straight to the practical stuff that's already happening. He wants to flip the fear to possibility ratio on its head, as he puts it. He's talking about clinicians, actually shaving hours off charting, spotting near-miss meds, and walking into consults 3 steps ahead.
Oh.
And not like someday. He means today.
Okay, that's a really powerful statement right off the bat. It tackles what Dr. Caru calls the elephant in the break room. This feeling that most AI and healthcare talk is like 80% brake pedal, 20% gas.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of caution.
But he's saying the real results are spreading in the opposite direction. So, okay, how are clinicians actually putting this into practice on the ground?
Well, it's fascinating because, these aren't just small pilot projects anymore, not in the way we used to think.
Right.
He points out that tools like ambient scribes, the AI speech recognition that listens to doctor-patient talks and drafts notes automatically.
Yeah, I've heard of those.
They're already pretty widely used. And things like GPT prompts, using those big language models to pull out key info from, like really dense electronic health records, the EHRs.
Okay, so making sense of the data flood.
Exactly. He says the old way, those slow paper-based trials, they've sort of quietly morphed into frontline hacks. And they're being led by like nurses, residents, even med students working extra shifts who are just fed up with broken clicks.
That paints such a picture, doesn't it? Clinicians just taking charge, fixing their own workflows almost out of necessity.
Yeah.
It suggests a real unmet need there.
Totally.
And Dr. Caru gives this fantastic example. He calls it proof in practice. It's about one of his colleagues, a virtualist.
Okay, so doctor doing telehealth, basically.
Exactly. So picture this. 5 minutes before a Zoom call, she's got this really complex case, an undiagnosed neuroautoimmune whodunit is how he describes it.
Wow, tough one.
Yeah. And she doesn't know the patient, the records are scattered everywhere, and the clock's ticking. Classic high-pressure diagnostic challenge.
Right. Instead of desperately splunking through PDFs, just digging through digital documents, trying to find the relevant bits.
Yeah, we've all been there in some form.
She launches this in-house AI assistant, and just in seconds, it pulls up the key lab results, connects fragmented MRI reports, digests the symptom timeline the patient wrote, and even whispers a few questions she might otherwise forget to ask. It's quite amazing. So by the time she actually clicks join on that video call, her potential diagnosis, her differential, it already has contour.
That's incredible.
And the key insight from Dr. Caru here, it's not that the AI replaced her thinking, not at all. It cleared the cognitive runway so she could actually use it.
Clear the cognitive runway. I like that phrase. And this story, it really pushes back against a long-standing myth in medicine, doesn't it? Dr. Caru really wants us to finally ditch that idea that moving fast automatically equals breaking patients. It makes you ask, well, what does safety really mean here?
Yeah, it forces a deeper look. What is safety?
Right.
Dr. Caru argues it's about frictionless clarity.
Frictionless clarity. Okay.
Meaning, tools that proactively flag a potential medication error before it happens. Or maybe draft a discharge note intelligently, but leave the final sign-off to the human. Or maybe guide a new nurse on the night shift to the right protocol before fatigue, or just sheer information overload leads them down the wrong path.
Right. Preventing errors before they start.
Exactly. He basically says that every extra click we force on the human is a safety risk hiding in plain sight. That really hits home.
Yeah.
And he doesn't pull any punches either. He states it flat out. Burnout is a patient safety issue too.
That's such a critical point. It reframes the whole thing.
It does. It shifts the conversation from just efficiency, just speed, to the actual health and safety of both the clinician and the patient.
So yeah, it's not just about speed for speed's sake. It's about better outcomes, better care, and crucially, looking after the clinicians themselves. Dr. Carew then kind of extends this invitation, not just to tech people, but to builders, clinicians, or slightly rebellious admins.
I like that. Slightly rebellious.
To occupy both spaces. What does he mean by that?
It's a really powerful call, I think. It means staying grounded, on the hospital floor where the vitals beep, really understanding the real problems clinicians face every day.
Okay, the frontline part.
Right. But also keeping one foot on the friend where the models improve weekly. Staying connected to the tech evolution.
So frontlines and frontier. Got it.
Exactly. And when people say, oh, we should wait, we need more evidence before we adopt these AI tools, he pushes back. He urges us to ask, what evidence are we missing that's worth a year of status quo harm?
That's a provocative question.
It is, because his point isn't about being reckless. It's not about reckless speed. It's about courageous iteration. It's acknowledging that just sticking with the current system, which is often flawed and burdensome, that has its own costs, significant costs.
Right. Doing nothing isn't neutral.
Precisely. So if we kind of zoom out and connect this to the bigger picture, this whole deep dive into Dr. Carew's thinking really shows us that AI in healthcare, it's not just some far-off dream. It's happening now. It's a present reality. And interestingly, it's often clinicians themselves driving these frontline hacks to make things better, to improve workflows and patient safety directly.
Indeed. Yeah, we've really heard how AI can, as he says, clear cognitive runways and provide that frictionless clarity. Yeah. It helps us move past that old idea that speed always means sloppy.
Right.
Instead, we see that maybe every extra click we force on the human is a safety risk hiding in plain sight. And maybe most importantly, that burnout isn't just a personnel issue. It is a patient safety issue that AI could potentially help with.
Absolutely. And that core message from Dr. Carew, it's really this invitation, this challenge to occupy both spaces, stay deep in the reality of practice, but also be brave enough to embrace and iterate with these new AI models as they get better, like week by week. It's a real push for courageous iteration, especially when the alternative is just ongoing status quo harm from systems that just aren't working well enough.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, the listener? Dr. Carew offers this bold takeaway, which I think is really powerful. He says, instead of only focusing on the guardrails, the limitations.
The caution tape.
Exactly, the caution tape. We should also be asking, what would it take to unleash this safely, humanely, and at scale?
It's a shift in perspective.
It really is. And that brings up an important question maybe for you to think about. In your own work or your own field of interest, where might we be focusing a bit too much on that caution tape? Where might we be missing chances to use new tools, safely and humanely, of course, but use them to get much better outcomes?
Good question to ponder.
Keep pushing that edge, because as Dr. Carew points out, the frontier, it isn't some distant future. It's already on the calendar. It's happening now.
Thank you for listening to Efficiency Unlocked, Nerd Tested, MD Approved, a NerdMDs podcast by Drs. Adam Carew and Dale Gold.